All right, today we're going to talk about something pretty radical. What if your nutrition could actually evolve with you? We're going to look at a system that's designed to adapt to the crazy demands of every single stage of life, from cramming for finals to running a boardroom.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. Is your nutrition actually keeping up with your life? I mean, it's so easy to just grab the same old lunch or pop the same multivitamin every single day. But our needs, they're always changing. Let's dig into why that really matters.
Think about it, right? The kind of stress a student is under during exam week is a totally different beast from the pressure a professional feels in their 40s. So, why do we so often treat nutrition like it's one size fits all? It just doesn't make sense.
And that's where this whole idea comes in. We're talking about shifting away from just grabbing random supplements here and there and moving toward a complete, integrated ecosystem of nutrition, one that's designed to support you through your whole life's journey. The source material calls this functional nutrition, and I want you to really hang on to that word, tools. We're not just talking about generic vitamins anymore. Think of these as specific instruments, precisely engineered to help you manage your energy, your focus, and your health at each different stage of your life. Okay, so this is basically our map for the whole system. You can think of it in 3 key phases that pretty much mirror our own lives. First, you've got building a strong foundation. Then it's all about hitting our peak performance. And finally, supporting what they call active longevity. Let's break down each one.
All right, let's dive into that first pillar, building a strong foundation. This covers those really high-stress, absolutely crucial years from our late teens to our mid-30s. That time of intense learning, of building a career, it's a grind.
So the first tool they pull out of the toolbox is called Smart Start, and it is laser-focused on students and young professionals, right in that 16 to 25 age bracket. This is all about fueling active minds when the pressure is really on.
So, what problem is this trying to solve? Well, it's that cycle we all know too well. The constant stress from deadlines, being glued to our screens, that digital overload. We start chugging coffee and energy drinks just to keep up. And where does that lead? Inevitably to burnout and just deep mental fatigue.
Now, what's really cool is how this solution is put together. Instead of just a blast of sugar and caffeine, you get casein, which is a slow-release protein. That gives you stable, long-lasting energy without the crash. Then you've got B vitamins, which are basically fuel for your brain, magnesium to help shield you from all that stress, and zinc to keep your immune system from taking a nosedive.
And this quote, man, it just nails the entire philosophy. It's making it crystal clear that this is a move away from that quick fix, energy drink culture. The goal isn't just a temporary kick. It's about building good, sustainable habits right from the very start.
And check this out. You can see the system literally growing up with you. This table lays it out perfectly. With Smart Start, the user is a student. The problem is academic stress. The goal is focus. Then, you move to Smart Balance, and the user is now a professional. The problem becomes work-related burnout, and the goal shifts to finding balance. It's such a clear, intentional progression.
Okay, so that naturally leads us into phase 2, fueling your peak years. Here, the whole game changes. The focus is now on supporting those super intense careers and really active lifestyles, roughly from age 25 to 55. This is when performance is everything.
Now, for the people who are really pushing their brains to the limit, we're talking managers, analysts, IT specialists, the system has something called Smart Focus. This is all about how to sustain that high-level mental output, not just for a day, but for the long haul.
And this is the key insight, the real problem for these pros. The bottleneck isn't their body, it's their brain. The brain just hits a wall way before the body does. And you get to a point where, another cup of coffee just doesn't do anything.
And again, they make this distinction, and it's absolutely crucial. They're saying this is not a nootropic, one of the so-called smart drugs. And it's not just another stimulant. The whole point is to provide the actual foundational nutrition that helps the brain do its job accurately for longer periods. It's about building mental endurance, not just a quick sprint.
But peak performance isn't just about the brain, right? What about the body? Well, for that, the system includes Smart Sport. And this is aimed squarely at athletes and anyone with a really demanding active lifestyle.
I mean, athletes are playing a whole different game. They're constantly dealing with micro-trauma to their muscles and need to recover fast. They burn through energy and nutrients like crazy. A normal diet just can't keep up. And frankly, a lot of the stuff you find on the shelves is pretty unbalanced.
Oh, I love this quote. It's so sharp, so precise. This is a protein architecture for sport, not fitness. That one line tells you everything. It signals this is a very serious, highly structured approach that's designed for real competitive performance, not just, a casual trip to the gym.
So after you've built your foundation and you've hit your peak, where do you go from there? Well, that brings us to the third and final phase of the system, active longevity. The focus here naturally shifts from, pushing your limits to preserving your function, your vitality, and just your overall quality of life.
And the tool for this stage? It's called Smart Age. And it's designed to give comprehensive support for the areas that really start to need it after we hit 45, our muscles, our joints, and our brain function.
And look at how they tackle this. It's not just one magic bullet, it's a whole strategy. Step 1, you're supporting muscles with that same slow-release protein. Step 2, you're maintaining joints with a collagen complex. Step 3, you're preserving bone density with calcium and D3. And Step 4, you're protecting brain function with an omega complex. It's a full-body approach.
And this quote just perfectly sums up that change in thinking. The goal isn't to accelerate anymore, to push harder. The goal is to preserve and maintain. It's really about adding life to your years, not just years to your life.
All right, so we've just walked through this entire ecosystem. What's the big idea? What are we supposed to take away from all this? When you boil it all down, what we're really looking at is this massive shift in thinking. It's about moving away from the generic one-a-day vitamin on the shelf and toward a smart, functional system of nutrition that actually dynamically adapts to whatever unique challenges you're facing as you move through life.
And that leaves us with one last thing to chew on. Is this the future of how we fuel ourselves? A nutritional approach that isn't static, but that actually evolves right alongside us. It's a pretty powerful idea.